Yo everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Steins 0. The two of us walked out to Central Street together, but we really didn't have anything to do. The air outside must have made her feel a little better because Kagari was starting to calm down. So, is there someplace you would like to go? Can I go anywhere I want to? Yeah, anywhere you want that we can actually reach. Then take me to somewhere you went with Krisu. What? Take me to someplace you went with Krisu, Ocarine. Well, the lab and the shrine. Somewhere I'd been with Krisu. What could that be? The coin laundry in the neighborhood? Hoin Park? Gaidon Samba? I hadn't spent a lot of time with her at fun and romantic places. I spent a lot of time with her, but most of it had disappeared into many different world lines. I'd gone through that time again and again, but most of it had been spent among arguing and working with her at the lab. We never spent any time going places to have fun. And I'd never made it to our Mori either. Where did you first meet Krisu, Ocarine? Where we first met? That's where I want to go. Touchy subject. The place where Krisu and I had met. It was... This is it? The brightly coloured building in front of Akibara Station. The radio building. Radican. This is where it started. Yes, this is where everything had begun. On that day, the time machine appeared on the roof of the building. It was just after that I met Krisu. I could still remember it. The challenging look in her eyes. Thinking back, I may have already fallen in love with her then. But even though this was the place I'd meet her, this was also the place where I'd... Ocarine, what's wrong? Sorry. Lately I've been so busy with Kagari that I started to think I was getting a little better. But maybe I wasn't. You're really sweating. I'm sorry. Is this my fault? No, it's not. It's just... Whenever I came here, I couldn't help but remember what happened that day. But let's go. You sure? You're not feeling good, are you? I'm fine. I couldn't just stand out here forever. I couldn't keep Mayuri, Daru and the others worrying forever. If I needed to get over it at some point then... Alright, let's go. Something soft touched my hand. Kagari was holding my hand tightly in hers. Thank you. Kagari led me down the bustling street towards the radio building. My knees felt they were about to give out at any second. Even though I'd gone inside, I was still doing better than I thought I would. But I still didn't feel like climbing the stairs where it had happened. We took the elevator to the roof. Ferris, aka Rumio Aika, had carefully locked the door to the roof so that no one who wasn't authorized could enter. I'd been given a key, too, but today was the first time I was able to use it. The first thing I saw coming out of the roof was a strangely shaped object, the time machine. Wow, I remember this. I came here in this thing. The guy happily ran up to the time machine. It was right after she separated from Suzuha that she'd lost her memories. She'd remembered going from the future to this place in 1975. The first time I came outside here, I was amazed at how pretty the sky was. Unfortunately, it wasn't very pretty right now. But Kagari spoke as if there was an endless blue sky stretching out in front of us. I didn't want to leave Mommy, so I stayed inside the machine and cried. I missed her so much. But Suza told me that I had to stop crying and I couldn't be like that anymore. But I was still so sad. And then the hatch opened and I saw the blue sky. The sky in 2036 isn't blue? Yeah, the war made it black and dark. And they won't let me go outside very much. The mid-70s were right after the big electronic growth spurt. Electronic concerns weren't as important as they are now. That was also when air pollution was a really big deal. The air probably wasn't as clean as it is now. If it seemed beautiful to her anyway, it must have meant air in the future was really terrible. Ocarine, is this where you first met Krisu? No, this isn't it. This is... A cold drop hit my nose. It started to rain. Yeah, you're right. That's right. You're alive. Right. I forgot I might run into you here. What are you doing? Thinking. Oh. The rain had been falling then too. When she learned that either she or Mayu were fated to die, she came here and looked up to the sky like this. It's really pouring. Ocarine, get inside. Ocarine? What had she been thinking then? When she entrusted her fate to another person. To me. Ocarine, you're gonna catch a cold. Hurry. Kagari dragged me inside, away from the noise of the falling rain. A few moments later I found myself sitting there. The place had been renovated and none of the stores were open. The lights were off too and it made the place seem very gloomy. Now, that really surprised me. That day, after the rain, Krisu and I leaned up against each other and talked. And this was also the place where... This is it. Huh? This is where I met Krisu. Strictly speaking, this is where I first met her in the Beta Ward line. That day, half a year ago. What were you trying to tell me earlier? What are you talking about? About 15 minutes ago, before the conference started? You were trying to tell me something, right? You looked really sad. You looked like you were going to start crying any second. Why, have we met before? Thinking back, that was the beginning of everything. I wished I never met her. If only I had known this would be the result. If I'd never met her, I wouldn't have to feel this way. Ocarine. I felt something soft touch my face. Kagari. Mum used to do this whenever I was scared. Why? You looked like you were going to start crying any second. Kagari patted me on the head again and again, as if I were a child. This is where I first met Krisu. Here on the landing? Yeah. She left a terrible first impression. The first time she met me, she was arrogant and spent a lot of time glaring at me. Not cute at all. Of course, she probably felt the same way about me. After all, at the time I was rambling on nonsense like organisation agents. But she still ended up being someone you cared about. That's right. That was in the Alpha World line, though. Right after I met Krisu in this one, she'd... My face looks a lot like Masuke, doesn't it? How did you know? Maho told me so. And so I looked it up on the internet, and I was amazed. Maybe it's fate that her memories are inside me. Fate? It always was. Fate laughed at us. It toyed with us. Hey, just hypothetically, a drop of rain down Kagari's hair and hit the floor. If I were to lose my memories as Shina Kagari, and they were all replaced with the memories of Master Krisu, would I turn into Master Krisu? It's not that simple. But what if it were? If that happened, would you be happy? If I become Krisu, would it make you happy? It was the voice of the demon I'd tried so many times to ignore. I don't want that. Or did I? But I wouldn't like it that, though. Another drop of rain struck the floor. I don't want to disappear, not knowing why I was ever alive, not being of any use to anybody. Kagari. What's going to happen to me? Kagari was shaking a little. It wasn't just because of the cold. I'm sorry. No. I never did figure out what she was apologizing for. You're going to catch a cold. Let's go home. Yeah. Just come in. The first time I went to Lukaku's room, really did look like a girl's room. Wow, you're both soaked. You better hurry and change. Yanobayashi Shrine is closer than the to the radio building than the lab, so I decided to bring Kagari there. Mario had sent me a message on the way, so I had her come here first. Can I see that? No. I figured that Kagari needed Mommy Mario right now more than she needed me. Mama. Just like I thought, the second she saw Mario's face, she relaxed a little. It must be so cold, right? I'll get a bath ready. Nikako handed us towels to wipe away the rain and ran out of the room to start the bath. I want to take a bath with you, Mami. With Mayoshi? Sure, okay. But what will you do, Ocarine? Oh, fine. You guys can go first. Okay, thanks. Make sure you change so you don't catch a cold, okay? I'll work something out. Maybe I could borrow Lukaku's father's clothes. Just as I got up to leave the room. Kagari? What's wrong, Kagari? Something was wrong with Kagari. She was staring at Mayuri's face, confused. Kagari? Who are you? Who are you? It's me, Mayushi Kagari. Kagari? My name? No, I'm... Who am I? Kagari tore at her hair and let loose a cry that sounded like it came from the pits of hell. Get a hold of yourself, Kagari. It hurts. It hurts so much. It hurts. Mommy, help me. Help me, Daddy. Someone save me. Save me. She was like a puppet whose strings had been cut. All the strength left her body as she fell forward. By the time I left Lukaku's house, the rain had stopped. We waited for a while after that, but Kagari showed no signs of waking up. She looked peaceful as she was sleeping, so I decided to leave her to Mayuri and Lukaku and head back to the lab. According to the two of them, she had gotten confused several times in the past, but never like this. We might have underestimated how dangerous her situation really was. Her brain was probably under a lot of stress already. We needed a way to deal with this, and now. But before that... Yay? Got it? I did it? The second I opened the door, I heard Dao and Maho yelling. Really? I ran inside without even taking time to remove my shoes. Okin, perfect timing. Okabe is soaked. That doesn't matter, you guys pulled it off? Mm-hmm. Dao gave me a thumbs up. Nice work, Dao. I am a super hacker. This is nothing. You could say that, but I knew exactly how much talent and effort it took to hack 7. Your average hacker couldn't do it. The name super hacker wasn't just for show. What about Hyojo? Were you successful too? I'm pretty good at my job too, you know. Ma stuck her thumb up, just like Dao had. Wow. Well, this was all thanks to the information you and Kagari gave me. In that sense, we were lucky that she had Chris's memories. No, you're the one who did the work. Thanks. I'll just accept the compliment. Now the question is whether it works. And the only way to find out is to try it. You're right. I want 3 trips to Kitchen Jiro. Sure thing. Anyway, everything was ready. All that was left to find out who they were. But that was still the biggest problem. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna get some rest. I'm pretty tired. The sound of a ringing phone cut her off. Jeez, who is it? I was about to go to sleep. Yes, hello? She muttered to herself as she took the phone to the back of the development room. So, how Kagari's-tan doing? About that. Just as I spoke, a Rhine message arrived. Ugh. I feel like I need to look at this. Kagari woke up. She calmed down. She's calmed down. I let a sigh of relief and sent back an answer. Got it. Sorry, can you look after her for a while? I'll contact you if I need you. It's not good, actually. She forgot who Mayuri was today. Seriously? That's not all. After that, she started complaining about a horrible headache and passed out. That's bad, isn't it? It is. We need to do something. But unless we knew who we're up against, there's nothing we can do. What? You sure? Dao and I exchanged glances at the sudden voice from the development room. Maho-tan, what's wrong? Did something happen? When we looked inside, Mao turned around in a state of shock. Someone ransacked my hotel room. The call was from the hotel. Mao was staying in a business hotel in Wako City. Sometime in the past few days she'd been staying here. Someone had ransacked it. As if they were looking for something. And who did she say they were looking for? Yeah. You know who I'm alluding to. Someone had ransacked it. She left her keycard in the front desk, but there were signs that the lock had been picked. She'd just given her okay to search the room. So, did they find anything? They're just about to call the police. They went to me to come, and they want me to come back and see if anything's been stolen. Then, don't know what was taken. Maybe they stole your underwear. I brought all that with me. Do you want me to sue you for sexual harassment? Please don't. My room's always a mess anyway, so it's probably that it just looked like someone ransacked it. If I wanted to be optimistic, that is. They said the lock was forced, so it's almost certain that someone broke in. Actually, the same thing happened to the office not too long ago. It's not just a coincidence. Someone's after something you've got. That's right, and I think I know what it is. What is it? Chris's laptop. That. Putting all the pieces together, it seemed like the most likely option. I could be sure that whoever tried to overwrite Kagari's memories was the same group that attacked her in the other world line. Whoever these people were, they were after the time machine theory hidden in Chris's memories. But since the experiment had failed and Kagari had escaped, they turned their attention to the other thing Chrisu had left behind. The laptop and hard drive that Maho had. But if they were after that, did they mean they had it now? Wait, is that the computer, the one you gave me? What? I really wanted to crack the password, so once I started staying here, I gave it to Hashida. Then the laptop? It should be safe, right? Yep, it's in my secret hideout right now. But since I've been so busy with hacking 7, I haven't had time to analyze it. That made me feel a lot better. Now, if only we knew who had broken into a room, but it wouldn't be that easy. Still, if they'd done something like that, they might be starting to panic. What would they do next? Wait a second. We might be able to use this. Use it? I didn't want to waste time explaining, so I took out my phone and made the call. Several days later, Kagari's condition was getting worse. Staccato footsteps echoed through the darkness. Akibara got quiet early. The ever-busy electronic stores, the concert halls that were filled with cheers, and the coffee shops that were full of laughter, all that gave way to the silence as soon as night fell. A single set of footsteps walked slowly through the silence, never breaking rhythm. They belonged to a girl. It was dark and it was so hard to see her clearly. But it was very clear that she was acting strange. She had a cap pulled down her face and she was trying to avoid letting anyone see her as she walked. As if she was hiding from someone. As if someone was chasing her. And just as she was about to turn a corner, several men jumped out in front of her. The girl stopped in surprise. Suddenly, there were men behind her too. Shina Kagari, right? One of the men spoke. His Japanese was fluent, but if she'd listened carefully, she might have detected a trace of a foreign accent. I know those green eyes. The girl they called Kagari was helpless as they surrounded her. One of the men thought to himself, "This is the easiest job in the world. All they had to do was kidnap a single helpless-looking girl. There was no need to bring this many men. No, it wasn't just him. Almost everyone there felt the same way. Stay calm and we won't hurt you." The men guardedly began to close in. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. The girl simply stood there, afraid and showing no signs of restraints. This was too easy. Just as the man smiled and reached out his hand, he thought he heard the sound of something slicing through the air, and then he fell to the ground clutching his hand. What looked like 3 sausages were laying on the ground. Before they realized that the sausages were the man's fingers, another man went down from a high kick to the head. The men began to howl in rage. "You fucking bitch!" They leapt at the girl, swearing, but Suzuha's brutal. One of the men who was trying to attack her from behind suddenly screamed. "You need to cool it. You don't want to make a lot of noise either, do you?" A huge man came out of the darkness, silhouetted by the moon. Oh, that was great. Wow. That was all I could say as I watched the tough men go down one after another. I love how he still has his apron on. Just saying. I knew from this size that Tanuji was strong. It was the other girl that really shocked me. Her disguise ruined, Suzuha jumped around like a cat. Each time she moved, the men around her quivered. I knew she'd undergone combat training, but I had no idea she was this strong when she was serious. The kicks from her long, lithe legs were a work of art. Not bad, part-timer. You too, boss. The men fell to the ground without even having time to draw their knives and guns. Several days earlier, when I realized the enemy was probably starting to panic, I came up with a plan. In the last world line, Mocha told me that someone was looking for Kagari. I wondered if this was true in this world line too, so I asked Mocha to leak some information for me. A girl matching Kagari's sheer description came down this road at the same time every day, and today, a few days later, they'd taken the bait. I hung back behind the corner of an alley, watching them fight. I had felt kind of pathetic. It was obvious that not only would I be of no help whatsoever, I'd actually just get in the way. So it was smart to leave it to them. How are things on your side? I heard Dao's voice from an earphone on my ears. I called him and left the call connected so he could talk at any time. Is Suza okay? Is she hurt? Dao opposed to the Suzuha's plan to use herself as a decoy. He must have been worried about putting his daughter in danger. Don't worry, she's a lot more amazing than you realize. Well, she's my daughter, but if she gets hurt, I'm going to hate you forever, Okurin. He'd been better off worrying about the other people she was fighting. I suddenly heard a high-pitched whistle. At the signal, the men started to turn and run. They realized they'd fallen into a trap and decided to retreat. Sorry, not happening. Tanuji's giant arm grabbed one of the men's hands. But there was a hollow popping sound and the man's body went limp. No way. He was dead. He took his own life? Uncle, he's coming towards you. A piercing yell brought me back to my senses. One of the men was coming towards the alley where I was hiding. Our goal was to capture them and make them tell us who they were working for. If we couldn't do that, all this would be for nothing. I ran in front of the man without even thinking. My sudden appearance caused him to hesitate for a moment, but he kept charging without dropping his speed. I saw while he was holding on to something shiny near his wrist. Just as he hit me, Suzuha slammed into him with a jump kick. Gotcha! The kick knocked him directly into Tanuji's waiting arms. Tanuji caught him easily, then spun the man's arm around his back so he couldn't hurt himself. Uncle, are you hurt? Are you okay? I'm fine. Okurin, what's wrong? What happened? Don't worry, everyone's safe. Suzuha, did we get him? Something like a scream came out of his mouth. At some point, Tanuji had jammed what looked like a towel into it. He was probably trying to keep him from killing himself, like the last guy. Hey, cool it. You're the one who's gonna have a bad time if there's a fuss. And we still only on the first one, pussy. We've got 9 more to go. Then we got the eyes, then both ears, the nose. There's a lot of fun in store for you. His voice was cold. This was the real Tanuji. This was FB. Well, this is not necessarily real Tanuji. It's one of the methods of torture. You tell them what you're going to do before you do it. So then they have time to build the fear for it. I wanted to look away, but Suzuha was watching without flinching in the slightest. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this either. You're going to tell me in the end anyway, so it's better to just get it over with now. Well, shall we go for number 2? The man shook his head violently. Should have done that to start with. So, who are you working for? Tanuji took the towel out of his man's mouth. He said something in a whisper so small I couldn't hear it. Tanuji's polar suddenly changed. Stratford? I'm gonna add the D every time. Hey, you're not lying to me, are you? The man desperately shook his head again. Stratford, huh? That's gonna be a problem. Stratford? I'd heard of them. Back when I was into conspiracy theories, I looked them up on the internet. The real name was Strategic Focus, I think. They were an American civilian intelligence company, sometimes called the Shadow CIA. They specialized in military matters, and their skill had supposedly been put to good use during the Iraq and Gulf Wars. If a Saren rounder like Tanuji said they were a problem, they probably were. This wasn't going to be easy. But now isn't the time for being scared. You hear that, though? Start hacking Stratford servers right now. Okie dokie. I felt myself starting to relax after I completed my first objective, but there wasn't time for that. This is where things really began. What's wrong, boss? Something bothering you? No, it's just that Stratford's a civilian company, you know? That means someone's hiring them. No matter how many of these people you catch, is it really going to solve the problem? It did seem strange, come to think of it. Hey, you. Are you really... Tanuji tried to wring the man's neck again, but... Damn it, he passed out. What a wimp. Tanuji sighed and took out a rope and started to tie him up. Let me clean this up, you guys. Go. You guys go. You sure? This isn't the end, is it? I was a little curious when what he intended to do with them, but... Alright. We'll let you take care of it. I had other priorities right now. I said my thanks to Tanuji and hurried back to the lab with Suzuha. Uncle, hurry. I know. Suzuha ran through the night like a panther. It was all I could do to keep up. The path to the lab seemed far longer than it usually did. We finally made it to the lab. Mayu, Ferris, and everyone else were already there waiting. And Kagari too. Kagari was lying on the couch in obvious pain. Her breathing was shallow. Her complexion was pale. Something bad could happen to her any moment. Do, how's it going? Just a second. I got the route I used the last time I cracked it. Checking it now. The last time. Why did you do something so dangerous? It was a bet with a buddy of mine. We were going to try and see who could hack it faster when it gets a year's worth of go-go curry. He probably had no idea how dangerous that was. Huh? You're not going to ask who won? From the way he was acting, there's no need to even ask. Plus, it's Dao. Of course he would have won. Just hurry. Roger. Since their plan to steal back Kagari had failed, there was a good chance Stratford would resort with even more desperate measures. There was no time to waste. And... yeah, I was wondering when this was going to get brought up. Oh, Queen, you're not looking so good. No, it's nothing. It's not nothing, yeah? Let me see, yeah? Ferris ripped off my coat. You're really hurt, yeah? Okabe, you're bleeding. I tried to avoid looking at it, but there was a lot more dark blood staining the side of my shirt than I expected to see. When the man had stabbed me before, it must have gone pretty deep. I'm fine. You're not fine, yeah. Look, you're not. Get the first aid kit. Okay. You might as well let them do this. It's not like you're going to be doing anything between now and when Dao is finished. Forget about me, Mayuri. How's Kagari? Kagari, hang in there. Kagari was still laying on the sofa, panting for breath. For the last few days, she'd been getting weaker and weaker. Her hand reached up into the air. Mama, where are you? Mommy's right here. I'm right beside you. Maya grabbed her hand tightly and she finally smiled a weak smile. Tell me, am I just going to disappear? It's okay. Ocarine and Dao will do something. Ocarine? That's right. You know Ocarine, don't you? Ocarine? Kagari's lifeless eyes turns toward me. Don't worry. Just a little more. Just a little more and you'll be back to normal. Huh? Erase me. No. Erase me from within her. At this rate, she's going to... Oh, this is so wrong and weird. And why... And the way... She knows Okabe. Why? Personality and memory were two different things. Just because she had Chris's memories, that didn't mean she had Chris's personality. But... Please, Okabe. Erase me. Those were definitely Chris's words. At least, that's how it seemed to me. I remember what she'd said before. She told me to save Mayuri. She told me she couldn't sacrifice Mayuri to save herself. Maybe there was a tiny chance that Chris's memories would safely settle inside Kagari's mind. But even if they did, I knew what she'd chosen. She'd chosen to leave. She'd chosen to disappear. I had no way of knowing if the words coming out of Kagari's mouth were from another personality created by Chris's memories, but there was no doubt that they were Chris's words. Right now, she was nothing more than a formless thing called memories. So why? Why even now, when she was nothing but memories, did she still have to suffer so much? Why did she have to suffer at all? I'm sorry, Okabe. Clear drops fell from her softly closed eyes. Now, did you find it yet? Chrisu. I asked myself to stop. I asked him to stop myself from screaming her name. Just a little more, just a little more. This isn't good, Uncle. Cesar whispered to me and looked out the window. 1, 2, 3. A bunch of them outside. It's Stratford. Okay, come on, come on, come on. The tension was rising every second. Was he done yet? Why wasn't he done yet? Got it. Dao. Alrighty, I got it. Bingo. Whoa. CBMS, CBMR, Drain, Groan, John, Junk. Okay. Luca and the others brought the treatment device over, but I motioned for them to stay back as I looked down at the monitor. Maholin leaned over Dao's shoulder. Look at the files, it seems important to pick the biggest one. Wait, the big one? Could it be this one? But the file name is John. That was Mozart's Christian name. It has to be it. And also, isn't it, John Doe? Oh, there's Jane Doe for female? But still, regardless. I don't get it, but okay. There are a lot of files inside of it, though. Let me see. Inside the folder were several files labeled with codes. There's more files. There weren't this many when we were doing the research. Oh, there's K6205. Which meant that after the Amadeus program was shut down, they'd ended up in Stratford's hands somehow. Well, we know how. And they'd gone on to do more experiments with it. One of these has to be Kagari's memory data, but... K6205. Huh? K6205 is Kagari's memories, Dao. Core channel number 620, the magic flute. Found it? Now just do it like we talked about. Compared to Chris's time loop machine, the process was a lot simpler. Since the memory data already exists, there was no need for a VR headset. Or the phone wave name subject to change. All we had to do was use the decipher program on Kagari's memory data, then use Seren's LHC to compress it. Then we transferred the compressed data and sent it to the cell phone. Hurry, we're completely surrounded. Do, are you ready? Okie dokie. Okay, do it. Wait. I looked up and saw that Maho was staring at the screen, her features frozen in an iron mask. What's wrong, Heijo? Is this really going to work? If it fails, Kagari will. I reached my arm around Dao's back and put my hand firmly on her shoulder. It'll be fine. I guarantee it. Okabe. Uncle! I stepped away from the PC and leant down in front of the sofa where Kagari lay. Ready? Goodbye. Krisu. They're here. Roger. The sounds of footsteps coming up the stairs. The sound of the phone ringing. As all the different sounds filled the air. Listen, Okabe. The last thing she said was, I think that I loved you. Whatever those were Chris's words or Kagari's, her words were cut off by the sound of the door and the sound of screaming. I hesitated. Not only did I hesitate to answer, but I almost tried to tap the button to reject the call. But then Kagari's fingers cut off mine. And then her fingers, or maybe Chris's, tapped the button to answer the call. And then the phone up against her head stopped ringing. Why did that cause things to change? What's going on? The dizziness stopped, did it? Because I'm still confused. Well, we'll find out what happens next time, I guess. Till then, everybody. Bye.